Hey guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we've got a day in the life on prep. So one of the most important things that I've found during this prep is how important routine is. And today I wanted to show how structured my routine is on a day-to-day basis to make sure that I get all my tasks done for the day, all my cardio done, all my steps done, all my training done, and all my work done. And therefore, I'm in a very low stress environment throughout this whole prep. I'll pretty much go through my whole day today. So I haven't got any check-ins this morning because it's a Friday, but I've got a setup video, form feedback, and meal prepping to do. Then we'll go to train, and then we'll do our steps after training. So the first thing I do in my routine when I get up is have a shower, and then I have meal one. So same meal one as always, just 40 grams of whey protein and 150 grams of blueberries. So I'll have this at around 8 AM. And after that, I'll get into my form feedback. So first task of the day is getting back to WhatsApp messages. So because I go to bed quite early, I end up having quite a few messages in the morning to get back to, a lot of that being form feedback, so I'll get back to that now. I've also got a Monster for the start of the day, so I've got the Mango, Ultra Fiesta Mango, like 150 milligrams of caffeine in here. I'll try and stick just to one Monster a day, but being at this stage of prep, energy levels are quite low, so if I need to, I will have a second one to try and make sure that I am not just being completely lethargic throughout the whole day. But yeah, we'll get back to form feedback now, and then we'll go into the setup video, which I've got after this. Hi Veronique, hope you're okay, and thank you for the form videos. So I'll start off with the cuff crucifix lateral raise. With this, it was a good set. I think you just need to set up the cable outlet slightly lower, and then really make sure you're controlling the change direction in the stretch. So when you're at the bottom of each rep, really make sure you're controlling that point. Add a slight pause in that position, and then make sure you're initiating the next rep with your side delts. With the high incline Smith, you need the bench to be a little bit closer, so the bar's coming down like directly in front of your chin. And then also to try and make sure that your elbows and wrists are aligned. So if you can see in both sets here, your elbows are behind your wrists, and that's gonna basically allow you to create less force. So make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your wrists. And the way you can tell that is if your forearms are vertical, basically. So make sure your forearms are vertical throughout the set. So yeah, really good stuff. Keep sending over your forearm clips. Let me know how your lower session goes as well. I'll pretty much do the setup video now, like a 30-minute video going through everything you need to know before getting started on Monday. And yeah, I'll get through that now. Yes mate, I hope you're good, and welcome to your setup video for online coaching. So that's pretty much the starter pack gone through. Also, I wanted to touch on before getting into the main bulk of this video is about the fact that you're not going to be perfect straight away. There's going to be a lot of things we can improve on a week-to-week basis, but that's like the whole point of online coaching. A lot of people get a bit stressed when they're not doing everything completely right at the start, but to expect that is a bit unreasonable, to be honest, mate. So don't expect to be perfect straight away. Continue to ask questions along the way. Try and get as much out of the service as possible, get as much value out of it as possible, and we'll gradually improve on a week-to-week basis. And all I can really ask from you is to be honest and to basically have good communication. So whenever you need to know something, whenever you're unsure on something, just ask me through WhatsApp, and we'll make sure we're on the same page at all times, basically. Over here on the right, I'll go through your timeline, so the plan I've got for you going forward. So basically, we're gonna go straight into a mini diet straight away now, because I believe that we want to pull your body composition to a point where we have a long runway for surplus going forward. So I think we can probably pull off weight pretty quickly. I'll now go through your training. So as I said before, we're on a 5 time per week split. Push, pull, legs, rest, push, leg, pull, rest. So each of these sessions should take about an hour and a half. If they're too long, then let me know and I'll try and shorten them and try and make some adjustments to the program to make sure that they are a bit better from a time availability standpoint. Don't worry about how low this volume is. I know it's going to be quite a shock to the system having this low training volume, but what you really need to understand, mate, is that training volume isn't going to be what makes you grow. At the end of the day, the primary driver for hypertrophy is always going to be mechanical tension. And what mechanical tension means is progressively overloading the muscle over time while keeping execution the same. So that's training gone through. I'll go through your nutrition now. So the meal plan I've got you on is basically 4 meals per day. I've made some adjustments to what you were having previously, just because I think we can optimize your training a bit more by playing around with your nutrition. So what I've done is split your nutrition into training day and rest day foods. So your training days will be slightly higher calories. What we're gonna do is have 3 meals on plan per day, and then we'll have 1 off-plan meal at the end of the day. Finally, you've got the check-in sheet. So with the check-in, you'll basically send over a voice note on WhatsApp, around 5 to 10 minutes, going through how your week's been, so your training, your nutrition, your recovery, how it's all been. You'll basically be answering these questions, giving me as much detail as possible about your week. Therefore, I've got so much information with regards to making decisions going forward. I'll then get back to you the following day going through a check-in response on a video like this. And yeah, go back to me on how you found this. I'm looking forward to getting started on Monday. I really do think we can make a lot of progress going forward, mate. So just trust the plan, be honest with me, have good communication, as I said, and we'll make a lot of progress over the next 10 weeks and hopefully in the future as well. So that's the setup video done. The next task of the day is filming my educational library. So something that I've done recently for my coaching service, start to film some educational videos. Basically, everything that you need to know about physique development, we've got an educational video for. So for example, I'm now doing one on sleep environment. So these videos will go out to our clients once they're finished, basically giving them more information on each topic that they might want to know about. Basically just providing them with the rationale that we use within the coaching process. So I think what I want to do with my coaching service is make it as undeniable as possible. Make it so it's the best coaching service there is and there is no other option at the end of the day. I want to make my coaching service that good to the point where every single thing within the service is maximized. So educational library, exercise library, the coaching process itself, the online sheets, the programming, the nutrition plan, recipe books, everything is in here within the coaching service to make sure it's the best possible service that I can provide. So I'll get on with filming these. I've got a couple more to do on sleep, and then I've got the meal prep for my refeed days this weekend. So I've got 2 refeed days at the weekend on 550 carb. I'll meal prep for them, so it's all ready ahead of time. Yes guys, I hope you're all good and welcome back to the sleep section on the One Coaching Educational Library. So this is the 3rd episode within the series, and today we're going to be going through sleep environment. So sleep environment is a very important factor when it comes to your sleep efficiency, sleep quality and sleep duration, and therefore we really want to maximize it going forward. Basically, to enter a sleep state, your brain needs to decrease in temperature, and therefore we need the room to be pretty cold in order to do this. Yes guys, I hope you're all good and welcome back to the 4th episode in the sleep section on the Educational Library. So this one's going to be all about light exposure. So basically, light exposure, especially blue light, which is a kind of light that comes from your phone or any kind of screen/device, these cause a reduction in the release of melatonin. Melatonin is a sleep hormone which helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. And therefore, we want to try and avoid light exposure close to bed in order to release the right amount of melatonin to fall asleep and stay asleep. So I recommend during the day to try and get as much light in as possible. What this is going to do is regulate your circadian rhythm or your body clock in order to make sure we're getting effective sleep at night. So that's the video done. I'll catch you on the next one, which is going to be all about how exercise affects sleep, and I'll see you there. So second meal of the day now at 10:30. So I've got my potato meal, which is just 200 grams of potatoes, 110 grams of chicken, a load of different vegetables, and some salsa on top. So as you can see from my morning, I try and make it as busy as possible because when you're in a diet and you're on low food, the more busy you can stay, the less time you have to think about food and the less time you have to think about how hungry you are. And therefore, if you can try and make your day as busy as possible, that will hopefully allow you to stick to your diet a lot more easily. So especially throughout the morning, I try and make sure all my tasks are done, try and be as productive as possible. And therefore, I'm not really even thinking about food. And I don't even realize I'm hungry until my next meal comes because I'm so busy. So having this structured routine where you're being very productive can be very useful, not just for your life going forward, but also sticking to your diet. So I'll have meal 2 now, and then I'm going to meal prep after this. Right, so I'm meal prepping now for the next couple of days. I meal prep 3 days a week, basically making sure that I have all my food ready for the days going forward. There's no stress for me when it comes to making my meals on the day. It's all ready for me there, and therefore it helps me stay in a very low stress state throughout the week on prep. So this usually takes me about an hour to prep everything, especially with it being a refeed day, there's quite a bit more carbs to prep. I'll do like a time lapse of me making the food. I've just finished meal prepping for my refeed days, so I'll give you a quick look at what I've made. So pretty much my food on refeed days is the same every time. So it's basically 2 oatmeals, 1 cream of rice meal, 2 potato meals, and I've added in a few grapes this week because I basically wanted to up my food around 50 carb on refeed days, as 500 carb wasn't really seeing any weight gain, and to refill muscle glycogen I kind of need to see weight go up a little bit. So refeed days are now at 550 carb, 200 protein and 30 fat. Low days or just normal days within the week are at 225 carb, 180 protein and 35 fat. So that kind of approach, 5 low days, 2 high days, per week is pulling me down at around £1 per week at the moment. I've got cardio at 5 times 20 minutes. I'm probably going to keep it the exact same next week because this rate of loss is exactly what I'm looking for right now, so I don't really need to change it. Keep going at £1 per week over the next 3 to 4 weeks. That will pull my body weight down to around low 140s, probably around 142, 143, and then I'll start refilling into the show from there. Next meal is an oatmeal, which I will make now. It will be my pre-workout meal as well, so I'll go and train after this. I've got a pull session today at Ultraflex, no cardio post session because I don't do cardio post hip hinge day or post legs. So it's just on my rest days and my push and my other pull days, so 5 times per week. So yeah, hopefully it's a good session. I'll catch you at the next meal.
God bless FJ for the beat.
Maybe put a bit of garlic on them, you know?
No, I'm not doing that. No. Just got back from Ultraflex now. It was a good session, to be fair. I got a chat with AJ as well while I was at the gym, and he agreed with me that I've got a couple of more pounds to come off, maybe like 2 to 3 more pounds to come off my back. And the fact that I was running very flat is covering quite a bit of condition in my back, as I thought it was. So that's good to know that he's on the same page. I'm now having my post-workout meal, so exactly the same as meal 2. All I've got to do for the rest of the day now is get back to more WhatsApps, more form feedback, and get the rest of my steps in. So I've got 5K more steps to do. I'll do that by walking to Aldi and back, which should get me enough steps. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yes, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. So I've had my upper session and I've recorded pretty much every single movement I've done there.
Yeah, that sounds spot on, mate. And also, as long as you're increasing the execution each time as well, that's going to be another form of progression as well. So if you're basically making the adjustments I'm telling you to make, you're going to be getting more internal stimulus from those movements because your form's better. So that's also another way of progressing. But yeah, it sounds all good, mate. I'll have a look at your form clips now. With the low incline Smith, I think what you need to do here is just use a little bit less elbow flare. So bring in your elbow slightly. At the moment, they're like directly to the side of you. It's all about composure at this point. When the reps get hard, really try and slow down these eccentrics. Basically breathe, brace, and then really power out of the stretch. When it does get hard, mate, just try and have composure, and therefore you should be able to take it a bit closer to true failure. And then finally with the single arm pull down, that was spot on, mate. So I was really happy with that set. So yeah, we'll go up and load on that next week because the set was really good. Nice one, mate. So if you've got any questions before getting started on Monday, just let me know and I'll make sure that you've got everything ready for getting started, basically. Hi, Ellie. Hope you're okay, and thank you for these RDL clips. So firstly, with the first warm-up set, it actually looked really good. The main problem with your top set was basically you didn't have that much composure and your breathing and bracing was pretty off here. At the top of each rep, get a really big breath of air in, then brace your core hard, and then go into the eccentric and hold that brace throughout the whole rep, and that should work better next week. But that was the only reason why this set went wrong here. You just weren't bracing effectively enough, and therefore you really struggled in the hole and couldn't get deep enough because you weren't tight enough, basically. So don't worry about it too much this week. We'll try and stay on the same load next week and therefore try and fix the set through better breathing and bracing. So that's all my WhatsApps responded to. I'm gonna go to Aldi now. That should be about 5K steps, and then have my final meal when I'm back. So I filmed an outro last night, but it didn't film the audio, so I'll do it again here. So last meal of the day was 65 grams of oats, 40 grams of whey, 10 grams of almond butter, and 125 grams of blueberries. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.